Again, they used this front network of companies, and they caused an unwitting French company to purchase from the US these electronic items, and they sent these goods to Hong Kong, but they were then diverted to Iran. Again, another case study here from the Middle East, but again, the case is got a lot of red flags that are relevant no matter where you are. Again, linked to the Houthis in Yemen, a terrorist group who are sanctioned in the UAE and by the US as well. Again, they were receiving support through multiple channels: cash, chemicals, electronics, solar panels, telecoms. And this is one of the challenges of proliferation financing, is there are thousands and thousands of goods that are what we call dual-use goods. So you need to help train and educate your staff about what are higher risk goods and whether those goods need a license to be exported. Again, in this case, activity of customers was identified as suspicious by the banks because there were forged documents, forged bills of lading, and suspicious transactions. And again, as a result of the bank's vigilance, they were able to arrest several individuals linked to weapons of mass destruction. Okay, I want to move us on though to talk about another really, really important area. And it's one that affects all of us, AI and fraud. And I mentioned in my opening remarks that we are in an arms race. We're in a battle with criminals. What do I mean by that? I mean that as fast as we strengthen our defences, whether it's in our banks to stop our customers becoming defrauded, or we educate people, we see a growth, don't we, in the use of technology being used by criminals. And there's just a few headlines from around the world, particularly with generative AI being used for deep fakes, deep fake videos, deep fake audios. They're getting more and more sophisticated. Every line of business is seeing this. But at the same time, banks in particular are using technology and AI to get better at detecting fraud and money laundering, to find hidden networks, to make your transaction monitoring more effective, to use machine learning to identify hidden networks of criminals that the human eye could not detect. So, I don't know if you're familiar with this case, and I've got a short video I'm going to show you shortly. In Hong Kong, a financial worker who'd known his client for 20 years was fooled by a video chat using deepfake technology. And as a result, he authorised a transfer of $25 million. You know, and this is someone who had known his client for years. It shows you how effective these scams are. So again, there's a lot of training going on now in banks about awareness for people, about if you feel suspicious about the nature of a request from a customer or transaction, you know, just seeing a video of them doesn't necessarily make it legitimate. It is a very interesting time that we're in. I would also say that I work a lot with what we call reg tech companies, regulatory technology. So I'm sure you're exploring this in Cambodia. But for example, the use of electronic identity verification for customers. When you onboard to a bank account, maybe you'll be asked to provide a live video selfie of yourself and maybe look left, look right to demonstrate you're alive. Those sort of systems are using algorithms to detect whether that's a real human being who matches, say, the passport photo they hold up. Now, the algorithms used in those tools are having to be constantly evolved and adapted and improved as the deep fake technology gets better. So it is, you know, a war of attrition with the fraudsters. So the scale of the problem for fraud is huge. And of course, don't forget, wherever you have fraud, you have money laundering. Because once the fraud is successful, they've obtained money from crime. and they have to do something with that money. They have to either move it or conceal it. That is money laundering. And if you look at the figures around the world, every country is suffering a huge increase in fraud. No one really knows the figures, but this is an estimate from the World Bank, $4.5 trillion. Just incredible amounts of money. Around 6.4% of global GDP. Huge amounts. And again, scams have gone up, and particularly in areas like voice scams, 200% in 2022 to 2023. And look at that. Over all 54% of all confirmed fraud cases are authorized push payment frauds. So an APP, authorized push payment, that is where the victim is convinced and tricked to authorize a payment to a fraudster. And, we've had this for many years, whether it's been, scam letters, scam emails, but now we're seeing more effective methods, either pig butchering, which many of you, I'm sure, are aware of, or indeed using deep fakes as well. So the types of fraud that we're seeing, again, really growing. And what's interesting is every country is different, because every country has different cultural, vulnerabilities to fraud. Here in Singapore, there is a lot of fake job frauds, where people will get see a job advert on social media, and they will apply for a job, and they're asked to provide an application fee, and of course the job does not exist. We see a lot of romance scams, so-called pig butchering, often involving crypto scams. And again, Cambodia, Myanmar, Thailand, Singapore, we've all seen people falling victim to this. We've seen scam centres established where people are trafficked to commit frauds and forced to commit frauds. And we've seen targets in countries all over the world being convinced to invest in non-existent Bitcoin or cryptocurrency applications that look and feel very credible. And it may be an element of a romance scam as well. Another area of fraud that's increasingly growing is shopping frauds. So using, again, social media to sell goods that do not exist, and just obtaining money fraudulently, registering in online shopping marketplaces. Another area of real growth is what we call synthetic identity theft. So a synthetic identity is where a fraudster will steal someone's real identity, like maybe a name, maybe some social security data, or some residential data, some documentary data, but then they will use deep fake technology to create a fake image or a fake video and combine the two together. And they'll use that synthetic identity, which has got elements of real human identity and faked, deep fake technology, to onboard to a bank to obtain credit, loans, and then disappear, for example. Very, very common. And of course, phishing continues to be a huge problem, whether it's phishing and sending links through social media, whether it's sending links through unsolicited emails. These are all, continues to be a huge threat. Okay, so what's happening with this? Well, look, it took 25 years really for two-factor authentication to come in, when we had, you would receive maybe a separate SMS, and it took about a week for fraudsters to crack two-factor authentication. So we're in a battle here. Again, AI can help us with this. For example, we know that firms are now using biometric and behavioural data, especially banks. For example, they're looking at how a customer uses a physical device like a tablet or a phone, and they can tell by the way a device is maybe held or operated that is unusual for that particular device. For example, it's well known that if you have a device that is constantly on 100% charge and it's constantly vertical, it's probably on a shelf somewhere with 50 other phones in a scan center being used. Again, tools, I'll look at tools that we're using to attack this in a minute, but we are seeing some amazing tools now to help us fight back. And that's the good news. We're seeing some amazing data, big data being used to detect hidden networks. And I'll talk about that a bit as well. But I want to just quickly play a video. I'm going to hope that this works. If you could just let me know whether the sound works okay. Hopefully it will. Can I just check whether the sound and video is working for that? Someone could let me know. Could you let me know whether that's working? Can you see the video?
Sorry, we cannot see the video. It's still
okay.
Show your slides. Yeah.
Let me share. Right, let me share the video then. Screen. Let me try that. Okay. Right. Okay.
Yes, we can see it now.
That's working great. Okay, let me maximize this thing.
But we cannot hear the sound.
You can't hear the sound. Yeah. Okay.
No. Yeah.
1 second. I'll just adjust the settings. Okay. Right, it's afraid it's not working. So what I'll do is I don't know why the settings aren't allowing me to share. Normally it does. Apologies for that.
Sorry, Pekka.
Yeah.
I think when you share it, you will see the option to click share sound as well when you share the screen. Yeah, and if you tick that, I think we can hear it.
Yeah,
would you like to try again?
It's not letting me tick the box, unfortunately. I can see, unfortunately, it's not letting me tick the box for share sound for some reason. I don't know why. So forgive me. So what I'll do is I'll make sure you'll see the hyperlink when you receive a copy of the slides. So do please, it only lasts for a minute or so, the video. And it's just an interesting video. It shows how the deep fake is created and it shows how plausible it is. And it's quite frightening. And I think what it tells us is that, sorry, bear with me. Tells us that we really need to think about how we educate our staff to make sure they're aware that they could be vulnerable to a deep fake attack and that they are looking incredibly plausible. So there you had the link up on the slide, and when you receive that, please feel free. It only lasts for 2 minutes, the video anyway. Apologies, I think it'll be something to do with the setting configuration on the Zoom call. Okay, so look, I mentioned we're in a war. All of these things are being used to attack us. How do we fight back? Well, some of the tools that are being used, I mentioned this one already, behavioral biometrics. There's a lot of tools now which enable banks to monitor how customers are using devices to interact with their online banking, whether that's how they physically use their devices, how they interact, where they look at the screen. It's amazingly powerful. And again, a lot of useful tools are now available. For example, just to pick out a couple here, there are increasingly secure ways of communicating with customers. So there's something called DMARC, Domain-Based Message Authentication Reporting and Conformance, which is a email authentication protocol that guarantees that when a customer receives an email, they can have confidence that it is from their financial institution or their bank. And again, there's something called BIMI, Brand Indicators for Message Identification, similar email specification, and it locks a brand-controlled logo to an email domain. The other big thing that any firm is moving away from is stopping putting clickable links in emails to customers or texts, because that is so vulnerable, and making it clear that you would never send a clickable link to your customers cuts out a lot of fraud. You are always looking to get them to your official login page, your portal, and obviously that way you can gain valuable information, data and traffic, but you're also going to prevent copycat frauds. So that's all I want to say to you about the kind of an update from the world of compliance financial crime. I want to spend maybe sort of a few minutes just going through the ICA, what we are, what we do, and how we do it, which hopefully will be of interest. And then I'm happy to throw open for some questions. So if you do have questions, please feel free to pop those in the chat, or indeed raise your hand virtually and then unmute yourself. I'd be delighted to talk with you as well and hear some human voices. That would be fantastic. So look, the International Compliance Association, one of the things we're most well known for is we offer world-leading qualifications. And all of our qualifications are awarded in association with one of the world's leading business universities. And that is the Alliance Manchester Business University in the UK. Now, the Alliance Manchester Business University is a Russell Group university, so it's a top-level university, and that's what also makes the ICA unique, in that we don't just offer our qualifications alone, we offer them in an educational partnership with them as well. So the ICA also has what we call our ICA learning offering. So on the left-hand side, in the two pink columns, you have ICA Learning, our short programs, and our ICA Essentials, which are not qualifications, but they will give your people a basic understanding of core topics. And they cover everything from anti-money laundering to sanctions, to bribery, to anti-money laundering as well, and regulatory compliance. But then in our formal qualifications, once you obtain these, you will have this qualification for life, and they are globally recognised. And again, we have these qualifications at every level of career progression, from people who are new to the world of risk and compliance, right up to very senior leaders and managers. And all of these programs are aimed at different levels, as you can see in the blue columns. So we have our practitioner series on the left, which are practically focused qualifications. And they are aimed at people involved, for example, in roles such as money laundering reporting officer or financial crime investigator, giving you practical case study-based tools to investigate, deal with money laundering, talk to regulators, etc. Then we have our certificates, which give you a fundamental understanding of anti-money laundering, financial crime, compliance, risk, terrorism, and that's targeted at people who are perhaps new to role in a financial institution or other regulated firm or a regulator. And then we also have specialist certificates, and they are focused in specific areas to maybe help you build an extra skill or an extra area of expertise. For example, you may wish to get extra training focused on trade finance and money laundering that I mentioned before. Or you may wish to focus on the gambling industry, betting and gaming. So they're focused in more focused areas. And then we have our standard qualifications. We have our advanced certificates aimed at people in analyst or manager roles, practical application to identify risks and learn how to apply knowledge in day-to-day roles. Then we have our diploma level qualifications, which are really for people in either manager or more senior roles, and they will mark you as a real subject matter expert in that discipline. And then finally, for leaders who are senior managers or thought leaders within your organizations or wish to maybe move up to C-suite level, board level at some point, we have our master's level postgraduate diplomas, professional postgraduate. And it's worth saying that those are also a shortcut to a full-blown master's program with the University of Manchester in compliance in a digital world. And we've had many learners go right through the journey from our certificate level right up to master's level programs. So a little bit more context. ICA is a brilliant, engaging way to learn. We've invested a huge amount in new technology. When you learn with ICA, it's a very engaging, very enjoyable experience. At our advanced certificate and diploma level, we use our barcode immersive technology, which is used by Harvard Business School. Very engaging for learners, directional cameras, interactive, very engaging as well. We have an expert panel of course tutor experts who will take you around the very best of international best practices, real life case examples, but also give you the tools and tailor your learning for your local requirements as well. And you will engage with learners from different industries, different countries, and different sectors. We also use something called the Ripple, which is an interactive case study scenario with artifacts and documents that takes you through a real world problem that you need to solve with your colleagues. Very engaging, powerful learning technology. As well as having formal qualifications, the ICA also has a learning hub. And this learning hub is available for people that are not even doing a qualification, but are an ICA member of our professional community. And I'll talk about the ICA membership hub shortly. It would be tremendous to have more people in Cambodia join the ICA membership and become part of our global community. So the ICA members have unlimited access to the learning hub, which includes personalized content, supporting you in your studies, but also in your job. So we have playlists, we have a CPD log, you can set objectives for continuous professional developments, and you can demonstrate to your line manager, your stakeholders, your regulators, how you are keeping up to date with the latest trends in compliance and financial crime. We have all sorts of material, whether it's webinars, podcasts, white papers. We have a regular journal that comes out called In Compliance. It comes out every 2 months. And you can track all of this learning in one place. It's very user-friendly. It's been designed to be extremely engaging. Also, we can help you set your learning goals. We have a competency hub. So you can, if you have a team that you're managing or for yourself, you can set your desires where you wish to learn and develop and become stronger, whether it's technical skills or whether it's soft skills, such as, managing a team or developing your written skills or your report writing. And this will help you decide on your future learning, whether it's formal qualifications or learning through the Learning Hub as well. It's a very powerful tool that can be used with a team as well to help personal development. As well, we offer the ICA Certified Practitioner Digital Badge, so that once you've completed your learning target for the year, which we help you track on the system, you can attach a digital certificate which shows the world that you're a certified professional with the ICA, a certified professional and practitioner, and are up to date in the world of compliance and risk. Again, there are also a lot of other member benefits when you become an ICA member, and if you're interested, please do reach out to us. We have a member-only webinar series. We have our certified practitioner status and unlimited access to the Learning Hub. There are different levels of ICA membership as well: associate membership, full professional membership, and for our very senior members, fellowship as well. And again, they all come with a formal designation that you can use after your name and to show the world about your qualifications. There's the In Compliance magazine, always very insightful, useful insight into global compliance trends, which comes out every 2 months. And we're always looking for people to contribute to that magazine. If you're interested, do reach out to me as well. Always looking for guest experts to write and share their thoughts on different jurisdictions and different industries. So just to break down a little bit more, not only do we have qualifications at different levels, we cover a very wide range of subjects. So we cover governance, risk, and compliance, and they cover a range of topics from, again, entry-level certificates, specialist certificates, advanced certificates, diplomas, and postgraduate master's level programs. And they, at that level, they will give you the tools to move through your compliance career. Now, there's a lot of data on this slide, so we'll give you a copy of these slides. Feel free to contact us, and we can talk you through which level of qualification and which subject will be right for you. So you can see in the compliance frame, we have a range of different qualifications, whether it's a certificate in compliance, ESG, business compliance, or a diploma in governance, risk, and compliance. And this looks at the broader concepts of compliance, corporate governance, dealing with regulators, embedding compliance in a business. Another big focus for the ICA is anti-money laundering qualifications. We have a range of those as well. Again, you can see they go through the various different levels of qualification. So whether you're an analyst or new to an area in a financial institution, again, you can apply, you can manage, you can lead a team focusing on anti-money laundering with our qualifications. And here are all the anti-money laundering related qualifications we had. There's a lot. Whether it's a diploma in anti-money laundering, whether it's a certificate in combating the financing of terrorism, or particular areas like money laundering, risk and correspondent banking, or betting and gaming, or trade-based money laundering. There is something for everyone in this space, including at master's level. And then finally, we have our financial crime prevention. And these are broader-based qualifications focusing on fraud, anti-bribery and corruption, market abuse and insider dealing, and anti-money laundering as well is included in that. And again, at various levels. You get the idea. There's something there from people that are brand new to the concepts, through new entrants, middle managers, junior people, up to very, very senior professionals. And again, many, many qualifications. I think the ICA now has over 60 different qualifications in different areas. Just a very popular one there is financial crime risk in cryptocurrencies. There's an advanced certificate in managing fraud risk as well. And I should mention as well some of our practical programs around SARS investigations, which has won an award as well. A very, very engaging program too. Sanctions, again, we have a range of qualifications and sanctions. You get the idea. Again, taking you through the journey, whether it's a diploma in sanctions, understanding how geopolitics affect sanctions and the complexity, right down to the more fundamentals around sanctions compliance. So that's a quick overview. I should also shout out and just let you know, the ICA has also launched a brand new qualification in compliance and AI for compliance professionals. Artificial intelligence is changing every aspect of society, and we also have a brand new qualification in AI for compliance professionals. So if you're interested in that one, do reach out to us, let us know. It's proving very, very popular indeed. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an overview of the International Compliance Association, our different programs. I've had my first trip, as you can see, with my scarf to Cambodia last weekend. Absolutely loved visiting your country. I know the ICA is working on growing the partnership with the IBF, and really looking forward to working a lot more closely with the IBF and all of our compliance colleagues in Cambodia. So thank you very much. I'll open up there and throw back to our moderators to see if there is any questions from the audience. And thank you very much for your time on a Friday. I hope you found that useful. And I'll stop sharing my screen and see if there is any questions that have come in from the audience and pass back to the IBF. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pekka, for a very insightful presentation. And for our participants, if you have any questions regarding Pekka's presentation or any courses at ICA, please, you can drop in your questions in the group chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask him any questions. Thank you.
No questions coming in so far, so don't be shy. Please do feel free. You have my connections on LinkedIn as well when you receive the slides. So if you do have questions after the event, once you've had a look through the slides, please do drop me a line, reach out. Be delighted to answer any questions you have. I think my colleague, Mei Lim, who is from the ICA, is also on the call. She's our Managing Director for Asia Pacific region. I think you're still with us, Mei. Hopefully, I know Mei would be delighted to connect with you as well if she's still on the call.
Yes, so if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or drop your question in the chat box.
Okay.
We just give them 1 minute to see.
Yes, of course.
So while we are waiting for the questions as well from the participants, can I please ask the participants to scan the QR code and to give us your feedback on the webinar today? And in the questionnaire, in the survey, you can also drop in suggestions, the kind of topics that you would like to see or hear in the future regarding our webinar. And again, if you are interested in any courses at ICA, you can, of course, Pekka has dropped his information in the slides, which will be shared along with your e-certificate after today. And you can also contact us, IBF, as well, if you are interested in any courses at ICA. This year, yeah, we are also running a few courses from ICA. So yeah, can I please again, the audience, can you please scan the QR code? And it will just take only 2 or 3 minutes to do the survey. And in the survey, you can also tell us what kind of topics that you would like us to host next.
Well, again, it doesn't look like we've got any questions coming in, but I just say again, thank you very much for the IBF's support, and I appreciate you organising a great event, good turnout. Thank you all for joining. Looking forward to coming back and having some more prahok, which I tried for the first time as well. Very good.
Thank you so much, Pekka.
Look forward to seeing you all again, and thank you for everyone's time today on a Friday. And it's been a pleasure as always. So look forward to seeing you all again some point in the future.
Thank you, Pekka, for spending your morning. Oh, sorry, you're in Singapore now, so your evening.
Yeah, afternoon. I think we're 1 hour in front of you guys. So
yes,
yeah,
for spending your evening, Friday evening with us as well.
pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.